Right. So, hello, everybody out there. And the first thing I want to say is surprise. So, this is not the normal day and time that you would be seeing us. And so, we're doing a little bit of an impromptu discussion right now. So, I am really, really excited to be here. I'm going to take a second. You guys know how this goes. I'm going to go ahead and share this out. I'm going to share it because I want all the wonderful people out there, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook, we want you to be able to join into the conversation. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I want to welcome you to a special edition and a special episode of the Coffee with Rhonda Spotlight Show. And you might be asking yourself, what is the Coffee with Rhonda Spotlight Show? It is a special show where we are going to have conversations with amazing women and people and those out there who just have something to say and something that they want to share with all of you. So we will be coming to you with amazing discussions. We want you to get involved. We want you to pay attention. We want you to add your comments and your own flavor to it as we get started. So again, welcome to the Coffee with Rhonda Spotlight Show. I'm here with two amazing women. So let's start our introductions. My name is Rhonda Y. Williams. I'm your host for the show. I am the founder of the Coffee with Rhonda Show, and I am an emotional intelligence strategist, and I love to help leaders shift from the life they live to the life they love so that they can shift from being overwhelmed to overjoyed. I am also, and I'm putting this out there right now, I am also a self-proclaimed economic and financial strategist. Yes, I said it. That is me. For all of you out there that have been paying attention to me, you know that there has been something just a little bit different about me since this whole George Floyd incident. And we are trying to understand what is happening in our community and how we move to the next level. It is my firm belief that economic power, wealth, and how we treat ourselves and elevate our voices is the way that we get there. So that's who I am. I have two amazing, wonderful women here with me today that we're going to have a great conversation. Before I get to them, let me tell you what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about Black dollars matter. Okay, Black dollars matter. If you haven't heard that before, we're saying it to you right now. Black dollars matter. That is going to be the focus of our discussion today. So I'm going to come to you first, Ms. Barbara Smith. I want you to tell everybody who you are. Say hello to the people, and don't forget to tell them, like I just did, what's in your cup.
Well, coffee was in my cup. I'm Barbara Smith again, and I am an international corporate trainer, and I train corporations, large or small. I can train them all. I am newly affiliated with the Black Mastermind Group as the executive trainer for the Hampton Roads, Virginia area. I am so excited about this group because it falls right into my mantra and my passion and my mission to serve, motivate, and inspire. And not just to give you inspiration, which I know that I'm an inspirational speaker, but to teach you and to teach us as a people how to move economically. We're going to talk some more as Rhonda continues leading the conversation, but I want to just tell you that our Black dollars matter. Take it away, Dr. Watson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donetta Watson. I am the founder and CEO of the National Black Mastermind Group. So what is a Black Mastermind Group? It's a group of Black people who have the same passion, the same drive to move us economically to the next level. We educate, train, coach, mentor, and develop the Black entrepreneur community to structure the business that they can access capital. Over the last 30 or so years, we've heard that Black entrepreneurs are unable to access capital. And for once, as a result of the George Floyd incident and the pandemic, the disparity to the Black entrepreneur community is finally on the front page of what we've been aware of ever since we've been attempting for the last 50 years to position ourselves in the entrepreneurial world. We realize that the reason we're unable to access capital is the way our businesses are structured and how we operate our businesses and not having a clear financial understanding in business. So we've developed the tool to make sure that we can not only even the playing field, but also create our own table that we open up seats for other people to take. So this is what our mission is through the Black Mastermind Group. We have affiliate groups throughout the nation, and we're growing the organization solely to give Black entrepreneurs an opportunity and a fair play at this economic game. So thank you, thank you, Rhonda, Dr. Rhonda coming through, Barbara, for having me on this session. I'm so excited to be talking about something that's so passionate to my heart, and that is the Black dollar does matter. Yes, it does.
Absolutely. And, I love how this conversation came about because was very organic. We were talking about something completely different and we stumbled onto this conversation, and it was so powerful that we wanted to bring all of everyone else and share these thoughts with everyone else. So one statement I want to get us started with. So as we were talking, Ms. Barbara and I were on a call last night, and we happened to hear this statement that's really struck both of us. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those statements that's jarring. When you hear it, it causes you to step up, stand up, and take notice. Miss Stephanie's out there. She says, "Good morning, ladies." Hey, Stephanie, good morning. Good morning. If you're out there watching, don't forget to share the video. I'll be saying that throughout. But here's the statement that we heard. The statement was, the dollar circulates in the African American community for just 6 hours. 6 hours. The Black dollar circulates in the African American community. That is opposed to in the Asian community, where it circulates for 1 month. In the Jewish community, where the dollar circulates for approximately 20 days, and it circulates in the white community for 7 days. We don't even get a day. We get hours. In fact, we only get 6 hours. So let's talk about that statement that really brought us to this conversation that we're having right now. Why is it that our Black dollars circulate in our community for only 6 hours? And Dr. Watson, I'm going to start with you on this, and then Ms. Barbara, I'm going to bring you in and get your thoughts on this as well.
Well, many reasons why our dollar only circulates in our community in 6 hours is because we don't believe in supporting Black businesses to the level that other ethnic groups support their own. They're on a mission to advance wealth in their own community. And so they're committed to buying and selling and trading amongst each other. Their whole existence is to move their own community further. And so it is taboo in their culture for them to spend a dollar with anyone else other than someone that looks like them. For the Black community, we've not taken on that same mindset that it's taboo for us to spend a dollar outside of our community. And consequently, we do not have the compatible resources for our community so that our dollar can stay in our community. We do not have the type of businesses that we can patronize to give us that opportunity for our dollar to stay in our community. And that's why we're here, the Black Mastermind Group. This is one of the main problems we want to address as a collaborative group, the economic condition of our entrepreneurial community.
Wow.
And I can talk on days for this. So Ms. Barbara, you better jump right in.
Well, before you do, Ms. Barbara, there was something that you said, Dr. Watson, that I think is really powerful, that their whole existence is about advancing wealth in their community. That's huge. Where I think sometimes for us, we are just trying to survive, right? We are in survival mode. When you look at Maslow's hierarchy, we are down on the bottom layer. So, Ms. Barbara, what do you think? Why is it that our Black dollars only stay in our community for 6 hours?
Well, I want to first say again, thank you, Rhonda, for having us on this platform, because it's critical that we do understand it. I know when Dr. Watson was talking and when you asked a question, why is it that Black dollars only circulate for 6 hours? I don't even know if a lot of our own community members know what that means. What that means is they make a conscious effort, other ethnic groups make a conscious effort to patronize their own ethnic group. And why is it that we don't do that? Well, for one, I'm going to play the agitator for a moment. The reason is because a lot of us have had bad experiences dealing with Black people. Now let's put it on the table. I'm probably going to be, you're going to get all kinds of retrograde conversation behind the statement I just made. But the truth of the matter is, if we look at our experience sometimes, we as people sometimes don't bring the quality of service or product to the marketplace that others want to participate in. And then when we don't do that, or when a person goes to a Black business and receives a bad experience, they don't go to the business owner and say, hey, my sister, hey, my brother, maybe you should do this or that. Instead, they go to the next person and talk about them and talk about their bad experience instead of helping that person come up. What we have to do now is the time. We are front page news. We are getting dollars from all kinds of corporations and businesses. And there are a lot of philanthropic hearted people now from all across the spectrum of ethnicity. We now have to stand up and say, we are going to use our economics. $1 trillion of money comes through the hands of the Black community. We're going to use our economic dollars to make a difference for us. That's what's got to happen now. We can talk about it, and we can march, and we can protest, and we can vote, but the dollar is king. So don't talk about it, be about it.
Ooh, I love that. What was that number you said? How much did you say? 1 trillion?
$1 trillion of money, buying power that the Black community has. Can you imagine if we pooled our resources and paid attention to our communities and put that money back into our communities? Buy our own shopping centers, buy our own banks, create resources so that we don't even have to go off the block to buy food or clothing or whatever we need, because we have brilliant Black minds and Black entrepreneurs and Black businesses out there that are doing the doggone thing, but they don't have the support of their own people to build their business.
You know, Barbara, you mentioned a few things, and so I want to talk about some of those things, because when you're talking about support, I really do think it begins there. Now, I will say, let's go to Stephanie's comment, because I feel like this is important. This is not a coincidence that we don't support each other. We were torn apart and put against each other ever since we've been in this country. We have to relearn the old programming. Stephanie, I cannot agree more. April's out there. She says, thank you. And she says, this is so true. Thanks, Barbara. So when we're talking about support for each other, we know that we have been taught. This has been put in us. It's like, listen, it's time to take the blue pill, people. I don't know in the Matrix if it's the blue pill or the red pill. I know it's one of those pills we're supposed to take to wake up. Whatever that pill is.
Not the blue one, Barbara. I mean, not the blue one, Rhonda. It's not the blue one. That's for them or other folks over there. They need the blue one. We don't need the blue one.
We have to be able to do that, because support begins with us. I love what you said, Barbara. If there is a problem when you go into, one of the Black businesses, bring it to someone's attention, and not with an attitude, people, please. Not with an attitude. I mean, it may be frustrating that this situation is not going or meeting your expectations, but we have got to change. We have got to look to lift each other up and support each other. And the first thing we need is to share the information, because if we just walk out, how will that business owner know that they need to do better?
Yes.
If we just leave and go and talk about them. So support is huge. But then what you said about I want to talk about this for a moment, and I'm going to come to you on this, Dr. Watson. How do we elevate the experience that we give to our customers, clients? What should we be doing? Because sometimes it's not there, right? Customer service, I don't know if that has ever really been our forte. Now, let me just put a disclaimer out there. I know this is not all Black businesses.
That's right. That's right.
And say
it's not my business, and it's not the business of anyone in our organization.
Right.
Well, and I think we should be clear about that, right? We're not painting all of us with a broad brush, so we get it. However, there is sometimes this little vein, this little thread that can be present in some of our businesses where we are not looking for excellence.
Right.
Dr. Watson, what does it mean to create a business with the mindset of excellence?
Well, first of all, I want to balance the scale a little bit because I have seen some amazing Black entrepreneurs doing
Yeah.
amazing things. But unfortunately, because in our mindset as Black people, we have a tendency to look at Black business with a real sharp, fine lens. And we do not extend the same level of grace to Black entrepreneurs that we extend to white businesses.
That's
Mhm.
true.
Not to throw one particular business out on the table, but we all love going to that cake business, and we love their cake, their cake. And so I've been into the cake business before, and my fork was nasty and dirty. My glass was dirty. I've been in that place, and I love the business. I love the concept, and my food has not tasted well. And I gladly and assuredly, I'm not afraid to tell people, hey, this is not right. This isn't what I ordered. My cup is dirty. My fork is not clean. And what the difference is that when I leave there, I don't think to say anything else about it.
Right.
But when we go in a Black business and we get a dirty fork, we get a cup with a lipstick residue on it, we get a meal that's not to our liking, not to our temperature, immediately we get on Facebook, and what I call is we assassinate.
That's true.
We assassinate a business in the Black community because for some reason we think that the Black entrepreneur, like white people, put us in the same position that we have to do more, do better, be smarter, run faster, run longer, carry more weight, work harder than any other. That's not fair. And so as the leader of this organization, I often tell people we don't assassinate Black business.
That's right.
We will never draw our bow and arrow and shoot an arrow in the heart of another Black entrepreneur and kill them.
That's right.
But we will take the position of lifting up the Black entrepreneur community. As leaders in this organization, our leaders have a mandate to help. I don't care. And an example, just something happened just recently. My son-in-law and I went to a restaurant, and he purchased a chicken sandwich and bit into it, and it was completely raw inside. We went back. I stayed. Now, I watched because I've been in the hospitality industry for 35 years. I could tell you there are about 10 violations I saw sitting in that restaurant for 10, 15 minutes. And before we left, I gave him my card and I said, I want to help you to keep your doors open. Now, if I was a traditional Black person today, I would have been on Facebook. I would have video recorded everything I saw that wasn't right going on in his restaurant. And that would have been the topic of my discussion, that I'll never go back to that Black business again. And I won't support Black business again. That is us as a people.
Yep.
And it's predominant in our mindset. Immediately, we take out a different set of lens when we look at Black business. And that's not fair. And I want us to stop doing that. And as leaders, those of you and if you're an entrepreneur yourself, shame on you, because every dollar that comes in your door, you're so grateful for it. And the minute you turn your mouth to assassinate another person's business, don't you know what you sow, you reap? The very same measure you're measuring at their business, someone is measuring yours by it. So we have to be real careful, Black entrepreneurs, that we got to create a sacred community amongst Black entrepreneurs. That I worked for doctors, lawyers, and judges at the beginning of my career, and they don't talk about each other.
Mm-hmm.
I know that doc now, I'm going to tell some stuff. I was in an area of the hospital administration that I was there when a doctor amputated the wrong leg. I was there when a doctor did a hysterectomy and a fetus was in the womb, and it didn't leave that room. Never heard it outside of that room. They had a code of ethics. They didn't tell on one another. They didn't discuss one another's faults. They did not tell what was happening in each other. They lived by that code of ethics about protecting and covering the sins of each other. Now, I just sat through some law situations where some lawyers, I can tell you some stuff, but I won't. I've been in the judge chambers. I could tell you some stuff, but I won't, because they live by that code of ethics. What I want to see the Black entrepreneur community to do, and the Black community as a whole,
At large, yeah.
we've got to get a code of operating amongst us. There's certain things we just will no longer do. We won't tolerate it. We won't talk about each other. We won't tear one another down. We are going to protect our Black businesses as if they were gold, because before long, they're going to be extinct. If we don't watch what's happening to the Black entrepreneur, our children will never see entrepreneurship as an option in brick and mortar businesses. So I'm fighting every day for every Black entrepreneur that's out there. We must esteem Black business and Black business owners. We must hold them in high regard. In other cultures, Black business owners are esteemed in politics. Business owners have a seat at the table to discuss what's happening in the community. Why do you think all of our chambers, all of our city officials, they're business owners? They were white business owners held in such high esteem that they were invited to sit on the seat of the council. They were given an invitation to run for a seat in the political arena so they can have a say as for what's happening in that city. That doesn't happen for Black people in our Black communities because we don't esteem business owners. We have such a disdain for Black entrepreneurs that we come in with an attitude. And I need us, because I was a brick and mortar entrepreneur for 7 years. And you guys, this is real. I've talked to thousands of entrepreneurs who are owning brick and mortar businesses. The most difficulty they get is from their own people.
Yeah.
And we have to change how we look at Black entrepreneurs. We have to stop saying, I don't support Black business. We have to stop saying we get less. It's not good quality. It's not better. It's worse. It's higher price. If you were ever an entrepreneur and had to walk in the shoes of an entrepreneur, you would change your words overnight, because this journey is difficult. It is not easy to be a Black entrepreneur. And when you watch your community spend their dollars everywhere else, but in your business, that hurts. When you see your community carrying bags, you carry the same products, goods, and services. You offer the same, and you do it with excellence, the spirit of excellence. And you watch your people go to white people and Asians and everybody else and spend their dollars, and you're fighting to keep your doors open. That hurts. Yeah. And our community has to be held accountable. We have to hold each other accountable. Black people, you cannot do other Black entrepreneurs this way. You have to trust them. You have to invest in them so that their businesses can get strong enough so they can buy products and goods and services. You have to watch them, protect them, speak good about them, check people that speak bad about them, because our community doesn't work.
I want to touch on something that you mentioned, because when you said that we have a tendency to assassinate Black businesses, oh my gosh. And you know what? I'll be real honest. I don't know if most people think about it that way. I don't know that they're thinking that they are assassinated. And, on the Coffee with Rhonda show and the Coffee with Rhonda Spotlight, it's so important to hear what folks are saying. So Stephanie says there are businesses in every race that give bad customer service, that we have some phenomenal Black businesses who are doing the damn thing and doing it exceptionally well. Yes, Stephanie, I cannot agree with you more. She was high-fiving you, Doc. She was like, Tina, Dr. Watson, you were right. We need a code of ethics. Wouldn't it be cool if before we leave this show, we develop the Black business code of ethics? Because you know what? We need it. And wow, April, you done covered all of our faces up with this whole comment. It's all right. It's all good, girlfriend. We're going to read it anyway. Yes, they never, I think is what it's supposed to be, ever ask so many questions just because you are a Black owned business, as if you are not good enough. Our own culture does this. Then they will go to the other race and pay full price and come back to you when they're unsatisfied and want you to go down on your prices. Thanks so much. Listen, we are all about a hookup, right?
Yeah. Would you take her? Would you take $15 instead of $25?
We are all about a hookup because you're my sister, right? Really, sister?
Mm-hmm. Really? Well, and let me jump in, Rhonda, because in our culture, we've not been taught to purchase by value. Mm-hmm. We operate solely by price. And
Right.
so we don't care about value. We don't care that it's genuine pure leather. We want the knockoff leather. We don't care that it's pure silk. We want polyester shine that looks like silk. We don't care that it's simulated pearls. We don't care. We just want the look. And so we don't really position the value statement that comes. It takes time, energy, and effort to create a product. That entrepreneur's time and energy and effort plus the cost of goods is what drives the price. And so we don't buy value. We shop, buy, and as a venue owner, you know, I was in a predominantly white community. And so our price point was $5,000. Our white community would come in and say, oh my God, this is awesome. All of these amazing services you're doing for this price. Where do I sign the contract? And where do I pay the money? My black clientele would come in and say, that's too much money. We ain't buying that. So-and-so down the street, it was $4,590. I think I'm gonna go over there. Now, they're not gonna give you the level of service that we gave you. They're not gonna add the royal red carpet out for you and treat you with great care because see, you just money to them. But to us, you were our people and we wanted to make sure that you had a great experience, but they didn't care. They only shop by price. And if we can get our people to understand value costs something, and it's an honor to be able to afford value, but we're not there yet. But we hope and pray that through how we teach, train, and not just coach our Black entrepreneurs, but as we are coaching and training our entrepreneurs, we're teaching and training our community how to interact with Black entrepreneurs. You can't treat us like we're less than or sub.
Yeah, Barbara.
The services are just as good.
Dr. Watson, when you said how we treat our community and we're trying to bring our community up, one of the things that we have learned in Black Masterminds, the group, is that we are called to be entrepreneurs. And in that calling, same as being called to the ministry, in that calling, we are called to help our community members. So for example, what am I saying? We have a lot of many young Black men and women who have been incarcerated for petty crimes. When they come out of the prison system, which is supposed to be rehabilitative, which it is not, when they come out of the prison system, it is an entrepreneur, Black entrepreneur's duty. It's our calling to help them come up higher, to teach them, to give them opportunities, to give them jobs, to teach them how to get to the next level in this global market. This is a global market now. This is not, you know, you can just get a job here at the local store. We are competing on a global level. And so many of our young Black men and women, people of color, don't have technology skills. They don't have technical expertise. And so we are responsible. We as entrepreneurs are responsible to help them gain employment, gainful employment. So they don't have to run around trying to rob from Peter and try to rob from Paul and killing this person and killing that person. Giving them money in their pockets. And now I'm not talking about minimum wage jobs. I'm talking about highly skilled labor force that we as a people have to bring our young people into so that they can make a living in this global market.
Right. You know my mantra. You know what I say. White people hire, well, let me say it the right way. Hispanics hire Hispanics. Asians hire Asians. Jewish hire Jewish. Middle Eastern hire Middle Eastern, white hire white, and Black people don't hire anybody at all. And that is why the poverty rate is what it is in our country for the Black, and unemployment rate is what it is for the Black community.
Yeah.
We do not put into practice the basic common code of how we develop our community. We have lost sight of our own responsibility to develop, to grow, to support, to supply, to enhance our own community. It is our responsibility. There is no great white horse riding down the trail with a knight on it to rescue the Black community.
They
It
are
has to
not
be
people.
our responsibility.
They are not coming to save us. If you out there, listen, and you waiting to be saved, you can be waiting a long,
They're
long
not
time.
coming for
No,
us. They're mad.
we've already been trying this for what, 450 years? Ain't nobody coming. They're not coming. Okay, we can go ahead and move on now. So what we have
Yes.
to do, I love what you said earlier, Dr. Watson, is, on one of my shows, probably the last show that I had with the gentleman on it, we talked about not only getting a seat. We have to walk in true gum at the same time. We not only have to get a seat at their table, because we're not talking about creating a separateness
No.
that creates a more of a dysfunctional society.
No.
We are talking about just building up and creating our own. So not only do we need to get a seat at that table, we need to be building tables over here too.
That's right.
We have to be building our own table and supporting our own community. And there is nothing wrong with that. I'm going to go back to one of our statistics about finances and have you all comment on that. So Stephanie said, business is a ministry. Stephanie, we got your silk and your pearls too. We're going to get you those too, because I'm right there with you, girlfriend. I definitely need those too. But this code of ethics, I think we are onto something, ladies, and we absolutely need to define that. So if you are out there, put into the comments anything that you believe should be a part of the Black entrepreneur or Black community. I'm going to take it outside of the entrepreneur, because the entrepreneur,
it has to start with the entrepreneurs first.
Right.
Because if we don't support, I hold entrepreneurs responsible. And this is what I've shared with all of the groups that I've ever trained, coached, mentored, or developed. We have to be the first partaker of the fruit. So entrepreneurs, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard when it comes to other entrepreneurs. That setting that stage among entrepreneurs. See, we buy products, goods, and services at a larger quantity than the average community.
Right.
We must buy them from Black entrepreneurs. That's all there's to it. And so in this organization, I've made a commitment. I canceled an amazing, gifted white graphic designer. And I'm looking for an amazing, gifted Black graphic designer. So I had the opportunity to talk to one the other day. I have changed all of my medical providers. I even called the huge major hospital in my city and said, young lady, she said, may I help you? I said, yes, I need a new doctor. And I prefer them to be Black. And I just held the phone.
And they went,
just a moment. I found one for you. Excellent. Because I'm not going anywhere else. Nobody's getting my dollars. No one. I am standing behind what I believe, that if we don't put our dollars in the Black business community, we will never have wealth in our community. So entrepreneurs, you must take the first position in leading by example. Change everything to support Black people. Now we have the rule, sell to everybody, but buy Black.
So Dr. Watson, with that being said, so we have another stunning statistic that's staring us right in the face that we can start changing today on an individual and personal level, and then expand out to the community. So only 2 cents of every dollar spent in America by a Black person goes to a Black-owned business. 2 cents.
And that is disgusting. And we need to be ashamed of ourselves as a people. And I'm not going to sugarcoat this message, because we're doing this to ourselves. White people ain't holding us back. If we got $1.1 trillion, now we are the #1 consumer in the world. People that look like us. We consume goods at a higher, I ran consumer expenditure study. We studied products leaving the manufacturing and landing in the consumer's lap. So the trail led right to Black people. They have found that the Black community is consuming more consumable goods than any other ethnic group on the earth. And that is why the Asians are having a heyday. Oh, we love Black people to spend their dollars. Now, they can't stand us. Sorry, truth be told. But they love our money. And they're going to tolerate us and put products and services in our community. Why? They could give up about us, but they know our dollar is green and they want it. And so they're going to create products, goods, and services in our communities all day long, because They are a tick, a parasite on us and sucking our blood out of our community. Sorry, that's probably the boldest I've been with that statement. I don't hate Asian people. I have not. They are very brilliant business people. If we can just mimic what they have done with collaborative earnings, collaborative wealth, collaborative business models, how everybody puts their dollars together, everybody starts the business. Everybody works in the business. You may have a degree, but you wiping, you cleaning feet. You may have a master's degree, but you ring in the register. Why? Because your turn is coming. You're going to get an opportunity to open the business of your dreams by you sowing your time. They don't even do payroll. They don't have to. They got family. They claim everybody cousin, everybody auntie, everybody brother, everybody sister working in that business. They don't have to worry about payroll because everybody's family. And everybody's putting in their time in that business. And then they know that in a short period of time, they're going to get launched in their own. I get it. I understand. I want us to mimic it to a certain degree. But what I want you to know is that there are people sucking the dollars out of our community, and they put not one penny back in our community. Asians do not patronize Black.
Well,
White will patronize Black if you have great products and service. Hispanics will patronize Black. Middle Easterners and Asians will not put a dime in the Black community. But shame on us for only putting 2 cents. We're worse than they are. Shame on us. We have to take responsibility for this. This is us destroying us.
That's
It's
right.
nobody after us. It's us destroying us.
Miss Barbara, let's look at a couple comments first. Tracy says that is so true. Kimberly said, first partakers, you queens are teaching, sell to everybody but buy Black. That's what we're talking about, Kimberly. Rhonda says, yes, I've been saying I don't want nothing but Black doctors because they also understand us better. That's another thing. There's a relatability factor that actually matters. You go, Dr. Watson, they are high-fiving you. You was on the roll. But I want to talk about this whole thing because everything that you mentioned, Ms. Barbara, they can't do anything to us today that we don't let them do. Right? So why are we letting them take everything from our community and then we turn around and blame them when what Dr. Watson just said, this is on us.
Yeah, it is. And it's sad, but it's a new day. This is a reversal of roles. It's time now. Rhonda, you said something that we've all heard before. And that is, and it was so profound, even if you have heard it before. And that is, you're expecting a different result. Why are you expecting a different result if you're going to do the same thing? What's the definition of insanity? What is it, Rhonda?
Yes, doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
So we have to do something differently. We have to change our mindset about our own people. Yes. And I understand, we've been taught to pit one against the other. We've been taught to fight infighting, but a house divided cannot stand. We have been divided for so long. Oh, she's dark skinned. Oh, she's light skinned. Oh, stop it. We have got to stop it. We have got to come together. We've got to pool our resources like we used to do in the old days when we used to have to come together to live together. Now, I may not say come together to live together, but come together with our finances, pool our money so that we can, it's like a hand with fingers. A hand standing alone, finger standing alone cannot do much. But when you ball that fist up and have a bunch of fingers together, there's power there. And we as a Black community have to come together with our finances to make an economic change for our community. We need those Black banks. We need those Black supermarkets. We need those Black people who have goods and services and that are working and operating at an excellence level. And that's what we have to do. We all have to come up higher. Excellence should be our mantra.
And as we come up higher, I love that, Barbara, as we come up higher, leave the ladder extended. Yes. Leave the ladder extended so that not only are you giving out someone a way to climb up, but extend a hand down. And that's where the not assassination and everything comes from. So Kimberly had said that we don't value ourselves. When we talk bad and speak bad about the Black business, the Black community, we in effect are speaking bad about ourselves,
Exactly.
especially when we're speaking to other communities about us. Stephanie says, yes, Barbara, a house divided cannot stand. And then in-house fighting and never coming to resolve. Lord help us. We have to see ourselves differently. But you know what, Kimberly? I have hope because we got ladies like these two on this panel. We've got the Black Mastermind group that is lifting us to new levels. She's kicking our butt all the way. People, let me tell you, you want to talk about a teacher that ain't taking no nonsense? Barbara, can I get an amen?
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
That's what I'm talking about, but we love it. We love her. Coach Rhonda always says that when we are doing something different, it is uncomfortable and scary, but we have to push through. We have to. There is no magic in your comfort zone. If you are comfortable, if you are cozy, ain't no magic happening in there. All the magic is happening outside. And I'll tell you another thing that I love to say. This is my new thing. I have a new definition of insanity. My new definition of insanity is expectation without action. You are expecting what? You are expecting from who? You are expecting everyone else out of here, because when you expecting, you got all these fingers pointing at them. You have to take the action, be the change that you want to see. It starts with you. So I love this conversation. Tracy said, yes, we have to help each other and teach one another. And then Stephanie says, add me to that Black Mastermind group. Girl, prepare for what you asked for. You want to get in there right now, but it is amazing. The sense of community, what we're being taught, the foundation that you're laying for us, Dr. Watson. So I want you to talk a little bit about that, because what a wonderful place for us to begin. And then what we're going to do about this Black Code of Ethics, because I'm all about that. We need to define this code of ethics for us also.
Yes. All right. So in the Black Mastermind group, yes, we do have a code of ethics. You all will get it as part of your final assignment, because you're going to sign it. You're going to commit to it. You're going to commit to live supporting Black people, supporting them with your words, supporting them with your actions, supporting them with your dollars.
Yes.
You're going to live to uplift the Black community. See, there was a time in my life when I was management statistician for the federal government. I literally traveled all over the United States, and it never dawned on me where I spent my dollar. Never crossed my mind. I'm being really honest, and I'm repenting to all Black entrepreneurs, because during that season, I didn't have a second thought about. And this is why I need to say this now, because I'm speaking to those Black elite out there, those that, you know, made it through that glass ceiling, and you're sitting in that C-suite, and you're sitting in that high place, and now you're saying those people. Now you're saying, you know, how they act. You don't really want to put your money into them people. And so I'm talking to you today because, see, I was one of you for a period of time. It didn't matter to me where I spent my money, and money was never an issue. So I never had that problem of trying to determine where I spend my dollar. And I never thought about the Black community. I never thought about the Black entrepreneur till I became one. When I became a full-time Black entrepreneur, my whole reality shifted.
Yeah.
And then I got to see other Black entrepreneurs. I spent a lot of time walking into their businesses, interviewing them live, just like this. I would sit in their business, and once the camera went off, I would say, okay, now tell me what's really going on.
Right.
So for you, they gave the pretty story. Yeah. Behind the camera, when the camera went off, I got the real story. Right. And I had a lot of tears on my shoulders, and I often made sure I had some tissue to help them wipe their nose, because they were crying about how they were going to keep the doors open and the problems that they're facing. And, you know, Black people, we sue Black people so fast. I've never seen so many frivolous lawsuits in my lifetime about Black people suing other Black people. And so I knew that we needed to do something differently. So when I started the Black Mastermind Group in 2015, one of our codes of ethics is how we treat one another. We have 5 points and 7 issues, and we're going to hold true to those. We're going to stand true that we're not going to treat Black entrepreneurs like they're dirt. We're not going to treat their businesses with disregard and disrespect. We're not going to speak evil against them. We're not going to go on Facebook or any other social platform and talk about another Black business. We're going to commit to find businesses in our community that when we go in and patronize them, we're going to turn our camera on and we're going to give them a few moments of exposure, because exposure is a powerful, powerful tool. So I literally would go in their business. I tell them, hey, I'm going to turn my camera on. So I want y'all to act like I got some sense back there while I turn this camera on. Y'all cut that noise down so I can let the people see you shine. Every Black business I would go in, I would turn my camera on and I would interview the owner and I tell them we're here to support you. Everybody, 10,000 people would jump on and watch me expose the best in our community and entrepreneurship. And I'm going to go back to that soon as Miss Rhonda leave and go back where she came from. Go back to China, Rhonda. We done with you. And so when Miss Rhonda leaves, I'm going to go back to exposing. And so as people in our community, I required them to do the same thing.
Right.
If everybody's turning their camera on, if everybody's celebrating and recognizing, if everybody's paying homage to the Black entrepreneur, eventually, and it did. At first I had to adjust myself. I'm like, did you see her? She went into that same place I went into and turned her camera on. And I said, shut up, girl, because that's what you want to see happen. Yeah. You want to see everybody turn their camera on and bring exposure to another Black entrepreneur's business. And this was a Black hair care supply store. And he said his door has not stopped swinging open from my session with him. And then several other people did the same thing. When we stake our position on lifting up the Black entrepreneur community, those out there who care about Black business and make a commitment, we made a commitment to support them. We were keeping our dollars in our own community. And we were at the point of teaching collaborative economics. And that's where we're at now in the Black Mastermind Group. Yep. We are going to shift a little bit of our focus to collaborative economics. See, everybody puts their dollars together. Everybody but us. We didn't know the secret to wealth. And this is a wealth principle. You can't get there alone. You will never create a successful business alone. Right. You will never create a successful marriage alone. You will never create a successful family alone. It's a collaborative effort. So we understand wealth is a collaborative effort. So we're going to be modeling it first, and we're going to demonstrate it by example, collaborating together to create opportunities that we could not achieve by ourselves. Then we can buy the block, and the Black Mastermind could train the entrepreneurs. And the Bridge Builder coaching program will coach the entrepreneurs. Yep. And our board of mentors will help them make wise financial decisions. And not only can we buy the block, we can sustain the block. And when we can sustain the block, we can employ our people.
That's right.
We can create jobs for our people. When we can buy the block, sustain the block, employ the neighborhood, then our neighborhood is no longer in poverty. And our neighborhood is no longer on welfare. And they have to treat us differently when we come to the table because we have collaborative wealth.
Right. Exactly. And that is exactly what we need. So Tracy asked the question. She said, do we have a list where we can find Black businesses? And Tracy, I know that there are lists out there. I think one of the challenges with the lists that are existing is that there are so many lists and none of them are complete. Right. So there's a whole bunch of lists out there that list Black businesses. Some are for different states, some are for local areas, but we need a national list.
Stay tuned. The National Black Mastermind Group will have it. We'll have a national directory of Black entrepreneurs. We're going to start with those we have educated, trained, coached, and mentored and developed, but we will have the national list of Black entrepreneurs as we open affiliate groups in the city. It's part of how we're moving our organization to have a national directory. We have to know who's out there. And let me share this real quick, Rhonda, and I'm so sorry. I have a tendency of butting in. So you guys,
you're fine.
I don't need to be disrespectful. But see, Africa's calling for the diaspora to come home. And I have to say this here. We have been raised in Potiphar's house. We know everything Potiphar does. We know how this government is structured. We know how every single solitary facet of our nation is structured. If we left this country, it would bow to its knees to Africa in a matter of months. They are asking us to come home. They're asking us to bring our wisdom, our wealth, and our wealth of wisdom and knowledge, information to back home. Africa is our home. I don't care how many shades of hue we are. We are Black Africans. We are Africans first. They just happen to be snatched, our great, 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 great grandparents snatched out of Africa and brought to America. We are African first and will always be African. And we have to remember that. Our homeland is not America. Our birthland is America, but our homeland is Africa. And they are asking us to come home and strengthen Africa. If we did, every nation it will be afraid. It will be the most powerful nation on the face of this earth if all Black people across the world went home and began to put their gifts, their talents, their abilities, their skills, their knowledge to work in Africa. So it's important for us to know who's out there doing what.
Yeah.
What your skill sets are, what your abilities are, because we will be making trips back to Africa. We will be collaborating with Africa. We will, through the Black Mastermind Group, we will be doing business in Africa because America's oversaturated. Our marketplace is oversaturated. And every other country where people that look like us exist, they're hungry for what products and services we produce.
Yeah.
So why would we continue to fight a oversaturated marketplace to be a small voice in a crowded pond of many when we can go into a territory and we are the strongest voice they hear? So we will be going back to Africa. We need to know who's out there, who's doing what in businesses. We want the Black Mastermind Group to be the strongest group of Black minds in business so we can do business around the world. And that's all I want to say.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And we had lots of comments. I've been putting those up there on the screen. Stephanie, my new mantra, buy the block. Yes, Hunty. Yes. She said, buy the block. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, really, like that is literally happening. There is no waiting for anyone. There is no, I need you to fix my community. They have banded together and made a decision that they were going to take ownership of that community in Houston, and they are literally buying blocks. What?
Yeah.
I think that is amazing and fantastic. So, Ms. Barbara, we're going to come to you as we get ready to wrap up. We're going to have to wrap up this conversation, people, because listen, these amazing women that I have here with me, we can have this conversation all day. In fact, we were having it for a while before we even got on the show.
Now, just tell them to go to theblackmastermindgroup.com and join a group, and we'll just see you in the group. We need you in the group.
Put that in your stream, Rhonda. But
yeah,
I want
blackmastermindgroup.com.
Okay, I want to close my comments with 2 challenges to your Facebook viewers. Challenge number 1, change your services and products to buy Black. That's challenge number 1. Change your services and your products to buy Black. Challenge number 2, when you go into an entrepreneur's place of business, especially a brick and mortar, or maybe it is an online service, take out your camera. Take out your camera and highlight the things you love about that business, and then share it so that it goes viral, and make it interactive with the business owner or the customers that are in the establishment. So other people, like the one young lady who asked, where's the list? We already patronize businesses that are serving with excellence. Highlight those businesses and let the world see that we are serving with excellence. That's my 2 seconds.
I love it. I love it. Love it. You ladies are amazing and awesome. I'm going to leave the group with this. I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of self-reflection and introspection. If you are not buying Black, ask yourself why. And I want you to ask yourself, what's the story you're telling yourself? Because we tell ourselves some amazing stories and then we turn around and believe them.
Yeah.
But guess what? The stories that we tell ourselves are not necessarily true. So if you have had a bad experience in the past, that was an experience from the past. It has no reflection and no bearing on the future unless you give it power.
That's right.
So ask yourself why, and then proceed to the next step of asking yourself how. So now that you understand, because so from an emotional intelligence perspective, the understanding part is important. We want to validate that. We want to acknowledge it. Whatever you're feeling is valid. But now we need you to move. We need you to take action. We need you to let that go, whatever it was. And we need you to champion with energy, excellence, enthusiasm, all of your heart, mind, and spirit and soul. It is time.
Yes, it
It
is.
is time for us to come together. We can do amazing things. How much was that number? $1.1 trillion we spent. People, we not broke.
Trillion with a T.
$1.1 trillion. We are not broke.
Mm-mm.
We simply have to change how we are spending and investing our funds. So I want to thank everybody out there. Dr. Watson, you are amazing. I am so honored to be a part of your team as a member of the Black Mastermind Group and the organization and the Dallas chapter here. If you're out there in the Dallas chapter, I need groups of people in my group, so come on over. So, we are just looking to do great things in our community and to do it with the heart and spirit of helping and uplifting and building each other. So any final words from you, Dr. Watson?
I just want to challenge our Black people, and especially my call out is to the Black entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
We must be first to take the step. We must be first to make the commitment to consciously seek out Black businesses that we can buy our products, goods, and services from. We must learn collaborative economics ourselves. All of nothing is not better than part of something. We should be creating joint ventures with other Black entrepreneurs. We should be partnering on this journey with other Black entrepreneurs. And because you'll never get there by yourself. I'm challenging the whole Black entrepreneur community. Let's do business a different way. Let's no longer seek to do it by ourselves. And if you don't know how, join a group. Go to the blackmastermindgroup.com. Go to our Facebook pages. If you're interested in having a Black Mastermind group in your city, reach out to us through Facebook or go to our contact page on our website. But we are here. We're not going anywhere. See, we know there's dollars being released across the nation for entrepreneurship. We are a organization that we take the dollars that the city, the state, the federal government has set aside for entrepreneurship. We use those dollars through grants, scholarships, and contributions, and we train the Black entrepreneur community. So we know that Black entrepreneurs, if they had to pay for the training, coaching, and mentoring, they would never get the help they need. So we are a gateway. We bring the dollars in so we can put your butt in a seat and train you about business.
Wonderful.
And you'll never be the same when you take this journey. You'll be doing business at a whole nother level that you didn't know existed because you don't know what you don't know.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. And along with that, the relationships, the collaborations, the family, the community, all of that takes things to the next level. So I want to thank everyone that tuned in. If you haven't already shared the video, please do so. I am excited to launch my Coffee with Rhonda Spotlight Show impromptu today with these amazing women while the regular Coffee with Rhonda show is on break till September. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to all of you out there. And don't forget, support the Black community. Sell to everyone, but buy Black.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Rhonda.